good morning, viewers. Today is Friday, May 1st. It's hard to believe that it's already May. Time flies, right? So I thought today we would take a look at two things that are in the news. One is about Tara Reade, who's accusing Biden of sexual abuse. And the other is about May 12th and the release of Trump's financial information, his taxes and things like that. I thought I would take a peek at those two things. A lot of you have been emailing me for readings. I am booked for the next 6 weeks. So just know that it'll be mid-June and out that I can book an appointment. They're all 45 minutes now. It's just making scheduling easier. And they're 45 minutes. And you can either do them live on Zoom, or you can submit me your questions and I will make you a private video for you to view. And I also do pet readings. A few people have asked me about that. I do pet readings. I do. I connect quite well to animals, if you haven't already guessed. And a lot of you have had Annie come into your readings. I don't know if she feels your energy or what, but yeah, some readings that I do, she needs to be a part of them. Right now, though, she's a little under the weather. Tree pollen is coming up right now, and apparently she has allergies, so she's on some allergy medicine for that. And a lot of you have been asking me about the demonic attachment that I saw with tRump. So when you do, I do like the classic type of remote viewing, the military style, the kind that the US government does and that Russia does, where you're given like a code. Like it'd be like, say, XY15ZK3. You don't know anything about it. You just then do your remote viewing based on that, because it's all about energy. The intention has been placed within that code for where you to go. So that's the style that I do. I don't know if there's any other styles out there. So what I found a long time ago when I started to remote view tRump was that there was this creature that was kind of blocking me from seeing some things. And so I kind of made like peace with this thing. I've been seeing demons my whole life. Being psychic, and just growing up seeing, at nighttime, all these different beings in my room, so I think it thought it was going to intimidate me, but I'm sort of okay with it. The way that I know that it's not good is that it causes pain. It comes into my right ear and it causes a lot of pain. So I was talking to it and I said, well, where do you come from? I mean, like, why are you attached to him and what is this all about? And so he took me back to 1627 Germany. And tRump had an ancestor back then that the Victorians would use the expression religious excitement to mean, because that was the time that like the evangelicals were going around and, setting up their camps and all that. And people would become like so filled with the spirit that they were like losing their minds. And in some cases, they ended up in insane asylums. Well, apparently, with Martin Luther in Germany, some people started, following his path. And tRump's ancestor was really excited about the Lutheran religion, a little too much, to the point that it sort of made him go crazy. Because you have to remember, this was a time that new ideas weren't prevalent and they had very little forms of like entertainment. So it didn't take much sometimes to throw, if somebody was already a little off, throwing these new ideas at them would just send them over the edge. And so he was already kind of compromised, and this demon saw a chance to attach himself. And that's why, like the way that the tRump family made their money was not through good ways. 2 seconds on Google, you'll figure that out. And to this day, it just followed the bloodline. And he's with tRump. And he's causing some havoc. So that is that. Some of you, it's kind of funny. Some of you said, you thought that that was the case, and yeah, it is. It is. So let's take a look first at Tara Reade. So Tara Reade's a little confusing, if you ask me. She's praising Putin, which I thought was kind of strange. Like, why would any American be praising Putin while accusing Joe Biden? And she said that she filed charges against him with the Senate. The Senate has no paperwork on it, which you could say, well, that's intentional. But she has no paperwork on it. And she would have had to have filed these charges with a law firm. So she's also saying that the law firm doesn't have anything. And the journalists are saying that nothing was ever reported at that time. This is 27 years ago. So I am a little suspicious of her allegations. The timing seems convenient, and praising Putin, and it does seem like she was caught in a lie with this whole thing about filing charges with the Senate. I mean, that's kind of black and white. You either filed the charges or you didn't. So I'm going to do this reading through Tara Reade's perspective. And let me just say, this is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say is my opinion, my thoughts, my psychic perceptions, and my tarot readings. So let's see. Interesting. Okay, well, she needs money. All right, I want to do a couple of clarifiers before I read this to you. Interesting that she sees the government as an obstacle. That's very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I think that this is just going to just kind of go away. I don't think this is going anywhere. Yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Yeah. So here it is, she got an offer. There was an opportunity, there was a chance for her to make some money from this. And I also feel like the money may not have come from someone in the US. And so I'm kind of wondering where she got the world card, if this was actually, this is something from Russia. Her obstacle is the government. Okay, really interesting. She is thinking about truth, and I think she's kind of afraid of the truth coming out. Her subconscious thoughts show poverty. So this tells me that she doesn't have money. She needs money. In the past, she thought about just walking away and leaving well enough alone. So for the next couple of months, she's going to be kind of like stressed and worried and anxious, but then she's leaving. So this is May, June, July. So I think by July, this is just all going to be done and over with. And so I'm just going to look at the outcome here. So the outcome, she got the death card for the outcome. So it just tells me that it's just ending. And then when I clarified it, I get the card of peace, love, and happiness, which tells me that the country is going to be fine. I don't think that this is going to go anywhere. And don't write to me saying that, women should be believed, and because I do think that they should be believed. I mean, I am a feminist. I do support the Me Too movement. But do I think sometimes that they have agendas? Yeah, sometimes. But I think too, though, when you're telling the truth, your story doesn't change. If I'm telling you the truth, then it's going to be the truth every time I tell it, right? So I think, you know, lying about filing charges is going to be what brings her down ultimately. So let's take a look about May 12th. And, you know, the Supreme Court is going to be looking at releasing Trump's financial records, including his taxes. Now, I thought that that had been canceled because of the virus, but they're doing it through teleconference. So I'm going to look at it through his eyes. I'm going to look at it, you know, through his perspective. I mean, he's definitely worried. And this is why, see, I thought that this had gotten canceled because of the virus. But this makes sense to me because, you know, Pence had that chance to try to sway tRump to take the 25th and get on out, because there was this clock ticking. And I felt like there was a clock ticking, but I didn't know why, because I thought that they weren't going to do it on the 12th. All right. What do we need to know, Spirit? What do we need to know? Right off the bat, drastic change. Legal battle. Yeah, see, you know, he's been trying to make deals. I'm pretty sure he's been trying to make deals with Kavanaugh. Oh, and then I get my Chief Justice Roberts card. Okay, so the card that represents tRump with this whole May 12th situation is a card of drastic change. Okay, so something's going to happen. His obstacle is strength. And we've seen this before in his readings, that his obstacle is strength, right? He has no inner strength to draw from. What you see with him is what you get. There's nothing more. This is it. You know, just consciously, he's thinking of happier times. Subconsciously, he's been trying to make some deals, juggling money back and forth overseas. I just don't think it's going to work this time. But in the past, there was like this whirlwind of change that kind of came, and things kind of shifted. And I'm actually starting to think that some of these judges are not really happy with him. So I think before, you know, where they kind of thought he had a future, and they thought like he had a good chance of being reelected, they were like standing by him. But I think now that they know that there is no chance of that, they're going to be slowly abandoning him rather. So, you know, in the short term outcome, you know, here's my card of like legal battles. He's holding the sword of truth. So the truth is coming out. This is a legal battle, let's face it. I mean, if it goes to the Supreme Court, that's the biggest legal battle you can have. You know, and here's tRump just trying to hold on to his money and hold on to his hat and coat, I guess, best he can. And I do think that he has tried to offer money. I do think he has tried to bribe at least one of them, okay? You know, here he is just looking at what he's done, reflecting a little bit. Other people, though, they see happier times coming, which I think is not good for him. tRump's hopes and fears, you know, this is like a card of like being wounded, being attacked. And, you know, and once again, just like we've seen in all the other readings, he's still feeling like a victim. He's always going to be the victim. That's his role. That's what he does. He's never going to take responsibility. Narcissists and sociopaths, they don't take responsibility for the things that they do. So then for the outcome, I get this really happy card, which is also the card of a new home, which makes me think he's going to be in a new home, i.e. not the White House. Here's the country returning back to balance and harmony, getting back to normal, I guess, if there was such a thing. And for the outcome, this is my card for Chief Justice Roberts. And I think, even though I know Supreme Court justices are supposed to be impartial, he really hasn't been. But I think that's about to change. And there is something that I really think that he just doesn't like the way tRump has handled this whole situation that we're under right now, with the pandemic. So I don't think he's going to have too many friends in the Supreme Court. And when I kind of go into that energy and I look at it, I actually see Ruth Bader Ginsburg happy, like, ha. So maybe not every single thing will be released, but enough will be, okay? Unless, because once again, he has free will. He could still head for the border, right? He could jump ship. The clock's ticking now, right? This is 11 days away. So this is going to unfold one way or another. So anyway, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Thank you to all of my original subscribers, and thank you to all of the new subscribers. That is amazing. You guys are awesome. And you guys are so kind. The emails and the comments that I've been getting are just so, so kind. And so I really do thank you for that. Please like the video, share it if you feel inclined, subscribe to the channel, and you do have to hit the bell. If not, you'll never get notified that I put out a video. And if you want a reading, please email me at dianestarot@gmail.com. So have a great weekend, everybody.